Hey, fellow babies, welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. I am Michael Pachter, your host at Michael Pachter on Twitter. You must be following me by now, but if you're not, please do. If you are watching real time on Patreon as a patron, we appreciate it. Thank you for your support. If you are watching on YouTube as a subscriber, thank you. Those two things cost money. So if you don't have any money, but you have an Amazon Prime account or your parents have an Amazon Prime account, open up a Twitch Prime account, you probably already have one, and link it to your Amazon Prime account. You get all sorts of cool stuff anyway, but we get money. So please link those two accounts, and the instructions are in the show description, and then we will get paid, and we'll give you early access. So you'll get this the same time as the paying customers, because we don't really care. We're mercenary. However Shane gets paid is good for me. I'm happy. Okay, our question from SIFTD today, from Timmy.
Actually, he told me to tell you it's pronounced time.
Really? With two M's?
Yep.
From Time. We are often told that publishers and developers make decisions in an attempt to keep shareholders happy. What can players do so they listen to us instead of their stockholders? If players bought stock in these companies, would they be able to influence their decisions in any way? That's actually a really super astute question. So look. Shareholders, here's what shareholders care about. Shareholders care that a company brings in more money than it spends. So they make a profit. That's the profit deal. Sell something for $10 and it costs you $8 to deliver it, you make $2. That's all they care about. And they care that the company that they invest in is profitable and that those profits are growing. Now, there are plenty of examples of companies that aren't growing and their stocks don't do very well. Companies that are growing, stocks do really well. So the driver of profitability and the driver of growth is a profitable company is able to sell a consumer something that costs a lot less than the consumer is willing to pay. And that's how you make a profit. And the way to get that item that costs less to produce than the consumer is willing to pay is to delight the consumer and make sure that he's happy with what he's buying. So you go to McDonald's and you get a hamburger for, whatever, a couple bucks. You don't expect it to be prime filet mignon. You expect it to be filling and cooked properly, and that's what you get. You go to a steakhouse and you pay $50, you expect it to be prime filet. You expect it to be really good beef. So everybody's got to satisfy the consumer that they cater to. And when they do that, the company makes money because the consumer keeps coming back. And when the company makes money, the shareholders are happy. So your question presupposes that it's us or them, that we can only keep shareholders happy if we screw the consumer, and we will make shareholders unhappy if we delight the consumer. Now, I will say that if the world were opposite extremes, black and white only, and no gray area in between, yes. If Activision made a game that cost them $1 to make and they sold it for $100, you'd be pissed, and shareholders would be happy, except you wouldn't buy very many copies of the game. And I picked 100 because the average game goes for 60, but you wouldn't pay 100 unless it was really that much better. If Activision spent $49 making a game and sold it for $50, you'd be delighted, and shareholders would be pissed. So they have to deliver a $60 game to you that feels worth $60 to you. You have to feel like you're getting value for your $60, and that means they have to spend the right amount of money developing the game, and they have to educate you about what the game is by marketing, and they have to have ongoing live service support for the game so you feel like it's worth playing. And when you do that, they make a lot of money and shareholders are happy. The company that ignores its customers is going to end up going out of business. So the questions I get all the time are, what was CD Projekt thinking when they released Cyberpunk and it was a piece of crap and didn't work? And the truth is that stock went down a lot because consumers weren't happy and shareholders realized they aren't going to sell as many copies as we thought they were. The companies whose stocks go up are the ones who do everything right. That's Amazon. They do everything right. You might hear that Amazon drivers pee in bottles and they fix that, but the point is you can find anything you want on Amazon at a reasonable price and it gets delivered to you pretty quickly. and they make money doing it. That's perfect business. So the best companies keep their shareholders happy because they keep their customers happy. And the even better companies are the ones who are able to produce whatever they sell for a lot less than they sell it for, because the perception of quality is so high. So I'll give you another example I don't cover. Nike. You can buy sneakers for $10, or you can buy Nike sneakers for $50, $75, $100, $150. You cannot tell me that your $10 sneakers cost 1/10 of what your $100 Nike sneakers cost. They don't. They cost maybe 75% of what the Nike sneakers cost. But they aren't made quite as well, and they'll fall apart a little quicker because they aren't using the better materials. You can get a cup of coffee at the diner, or you can get a cup of coffee at Starbucks. You know, the cup of coffee at the diner maybe costs 5 cents, and the cup of coffee at Starbucks probably costs 15. But Starbucks charges you $3 because perception of quality, and it is better. I mean, it really is. They're much more consistent. So you will pay more for a consistent experience where you get the same thing, and that's back to McDonald's. Whatever you think of McDonald's, the hamburgers taste the same every single time you go there, and the fries taste the same every single time you go there. So people will pay for consistency because they get what they expect. Where if you go for that $50 steakhouse, sometimes the steak is overcooked and you're angry. Sometimes it's too rare and you're not happy. Because they're making it to order, you're not getting cookie cutter burgers, you're getting something made to order. They charge more because there's a lot more that goes into giving you something that is exactly what you want. So it isn't an us against them. But to answer your question about what can players do so they listen to us instead of their shareholders, this is where boycotts against products work. If somebody is doing something you don't like, don't buy their products, and be loud about it, and get your friends not to buy the product. That's the fastest way to spook shareholders if they hear that. So Activision stock went from over 100 to under 75 in the matter of 2 months from when this sexual discrimination, sexual harassment stuff broke. And it started with boycotts. It started with employees walking out, but people got down on Activision, and the stock's still in the 70s. It hasn't recovered because the shareholders got concerned that the consumers are not coming back. And so that's going to impact how Activision does business going forward. As far as owning stock in the companies, some of these meme stocks are seeing that. So AMC has seen that, where they call them the apes, the Reddit raiders who bought AMC stock. AMC stock was trading under $5 and is now trading over 30, and I think it got as high as like 60. It's a retail stock now. It's a bunch of retail investors. It's going to be hard for them to ever earn enough to justify that current share price, but shareholders don't care. And the CEO is brilliant. He is catering to his newfound consumers as shareholders. He's offering any shareholder free popcorn. It's smart. I mean, he's actually giving them something. And how do you get your free popcorn? Oh, you buy a ticket to a movie. And of course they salt the popcorn, so you better buy that 64-ounce soda for $8. So you can influence the decision with your wallet. That's really the better way to do it. If you're a shareholder, you can only influence them if you can have enough control to get a seat on the board and make noise. The way shareholders really influence companies is by buying the stock, it goes up, selling the stock, it goes down. So as a shareholder, you're not going to have much of an opportunity to influence.
Are shareholder meetings pointless? Because you can
pointless
call in and complain on the phone.
Pointless.
Really?
Yeah, pointless.
They just ignore everything that's said on those?
Pointless. Thanks for joining us on Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net, and especially if you are a Patreon patron and getting it real time, thank you for your contribution. If you are a YouTube subscriber, thank you. You're helping Shane, keep eating macaroni and cheese. And if you are neither of those, even if you are one of those, join your Amazon Prime account, link it to your Twitch Prime account, and Amazon will pay us and charge you nothing. So since it costs you nothing except reading the instructions below and clicking on the link, it's pretty easy. Do it, please. We get paid. And if you don't have Amazon Prime, which is your only excuse, and you don't have any money, which is your only excuse, then you're watching it for free on YouTube a week late. Follow me on Twitter at Michael Pachter. See you next time.